first, then we can answer some questions about Laff Trakk or anything you want to know. So Laff Trakk is the obnoxious white building behind me. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to have a lot of light packaging on it. You're going to love it. When you are looking at the first big bay here, that is the main entrance to the ride. When you find it in the spring, we plan to open the ride for Memorial Day weekend. The queue line, there'll be an exterior queue jutting off to the right, down heading east. You'll go through that queue line if the queue line is long enough, and you'll snake back inside the building, the same location. There'll be another queue line inside the building that's got some theming into it. A little bit something new for us, to have some theme and some fun elements as you wait online for the attraction. And then of course you'll go through the ride. We'll have 5 to 6 cars on the track running around, and you'll go through the thematic areas. And you already know what all those thematic areas are because you've done your research online. If you haven't, make sure you wear your white or stuff that glows, because you'll really want to be able to see that. We're really excited about the theming on this because, as you know, we had fun houses here in the past. So we're really trying to build upon the theme house that we had in the past to bring that history back. We're a very historic park, and we think that's a good, fun way to bring some of that old story back to new audiences and to audiences that do remember our fun houses. So Laff Trakk will be opening here. Fun slide that's behind me is going to, you'll still see it. There's one missing. It's just being overhauled. And a lot of people were wondering, oh my gosh, you're taking the fun slide out. No, we're just doing some repairs. And fiberglass doesn't like to be cold when it gets gel coated. So it has to go inside where it's warm. The fair tent behind it is, you'll see it next summer. We just don't keep the skin on over the winter for obvious reasons. And so that'll be open for next summer as well. Now, since we put Laff Trakk here, we displaced 3 attractions. Mini Train, Granny Bugs, and Pony Parade. Granny Bugs and Pony Parade are going to be put on new pads down where the food trailers were, if you're familiar. They're going to be put there. They're going to look adorable. And the Mini Train is going to go in storage for now. The Lightning Racer exterior queue at the bottom that we never really used is going to be redeveloped and repurposed for Tiny Tracks. Tiny Tracks is a ride that used to be down in Founder's Circle. When we put Skyrush in and moved Tilt-A-Whirl, Tiny Tracks was moved for Tilt-A-Whirl's positioning. So we're bringing that train out to replace Mini Train. We chose Tiny Tracks because that ride can accommodate adults, and as you know, we're a family park. So if we can have a ride where adults can ride with their children, well then that's what we want to do. So we're going to swap out one kiddie train for another kiddie train. We're going to keep Mini Train. It's not going anywhere. You might see it in shoulder season events. You might see it for specialty events. And who knows, you might see it permanently somewhere down the road. But for now, that ride will not be in this day-to-day circulation, but Tiny Tracks will. Now the food courts, or the food trailers, where are they going? Some of those will be repositioned in different places. I don't know exact locations right now. As you can imagine, there's this thing called water and sewer that you have to put in before you can run anything like that. So that they're working on all of this now. So there'll be food, don't worry. They'll have something to eat out here, don't sweat it. Yes, you're not going to starve here in Hershey. Absolutely not going to happen. So there's a lot of change that's going to happen. It's still going to have the Americana theme, Midway America. It's still going to, you'll still feel that when you walk down into this area. So what questions do you have?
Since this is an indoor attraction, could there be a chance that it could be open during the Candy Lane shoulder season?
We are always looking for ways to expand our events, whether it's elongating seasons or whether it is going to be something that's going to change our events. So it's definitely something we'll look at. That's one thing that we really like about this indoor roller coaster. Because it is inside, we don't have to worry about rain in the summer. We don't have to worry about the cold temperatures, even for Halloween when we do open the roller coasters. And who knows what the possibilities might be for Christmas. But for now, I don't know. For now, we just want to get to Memorial Day weekend. Yes. And then we'll see where we go from there.
You're going to be having a laughing Sal?
There will be a laughing Sal.
All right.
There will be, yes.
There will. Or like an antique one?
Well, you'll have to wait and see. I can't be telling y'all our secrets now. What fun would that be? But I'm telling you, there'll be the Hall of Mirrors with the distorted mirrors. So make sure you wear your glowing clothes so that you can really see yourself in those mirrors. That's going to be a lot of fun. Yes, and you all are familiar with the ride. Marasoni, right? 2 face forward, 2 face back. The ride will rotate. Trivia for you, doesn't rotate more than 30 RPMs. There is a stop on it, so it won't rotate any faster than that. So you put that in in your cap. Keep that in there. So. Yes, sir.
What's the height of the lift?
70 feet.
Oh, that's good.
Is that right? 42 inches is the minimum height. 48 inches by yourself. Must have a supervising companion if you're between 42 and 48 inches. What other questions?
How many riders per hour?
Well, we're going with about
Next year. For,
675,
This summer.
725. That's what we're hoping for. We'll see. You know how it is. Theoretical is not realistic, so we're thinking we can hit this. We're hoping we get close to that.
so many trains are on the track at the same time.
There'll be 5 to 6 trains on the track. There'll be.
Gonna load like the other wild mouse where it's
It
moving?
will not. It will stop. So the car will stop for unload. It'll advance for a load. There'll be 2 load positions. This will be different. For those of you that aren't, well, you're all familiar with us. You're familiar with the fact that we really work hard to help everybody. So people with full abilities and people with disabilities. So we have a very special loading situation that we built into this that I think is phenomenal for people that are not ambulatory. And so they're going to have a very special little loading queue up there. So when you get up there, you're like, why aren't you using this? That's why, aha! That's that queue Laura was talking about. So we'll have a very special loading area dedicated for people that have a disability and need access, special access getting onto the ride. So yeah, we try really hard for all of our rides, but this one we thought, you know what, we're going to build this in. So
It's definitely now that we start to make new rides that we can think progressively and think ahead.
Yeah.
And we find ourselves, we have to think creatively with attractions that have been around since 1970, 1960. So
Right.
we really need to think creatively how we can accommodate everyone. When we build them new, we can think about stuff like that. So.
and there's a complexity in here because the themed queue is part of the experience. So we don't want people to bypass that. So we have a special way for people to bypass the exterior queue to get into the themed queue area to experience that before they get in the ride. But if that's too overwhelming, then we'll have another access point on the north end as well, because we recognize that some people can't take that. It's not, but they still want to ride, and we want them to ride. Come
So that
to
queue
Hershey.
is accessible for mobility devices. So wheelchairs and things of that nature.
Oh yeah.
Will there be seatbelts with the restraints?
No, sir. Just a T-bar, a true T-bar. Yeah. In fact, the test seat arrived yesterday.
Yeah.
We saw the crate. They showed us the
Seen us
crate.
yesterday.
Not the car, just the crate. It was a beautiful crate.
That's usually seen us piled around it
You should have
yesterday.
seen us, Paul. Like
this.
I'm not tall
I
enough.
can't get in.
Like, go ahead, Lisa.
And then we did also just get some panels in, which I was very excited about.
Control panels.
Control panels in. So we may have been pulling through some bubble wrap when we should.
It might have been like Christmas Day yesterday.
Control panels.
New toys. New
Yeah,
toys.
you know,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
you can only read about it so much, and you really want to get it in your hands and see what it's like. So
Yeah, we're excited.
exciting.
We're just as passionate about this industry as you are. So thrilled to share it. Absolutely. Let me check the time. Where are we at?
it is.
Okay, we got a little bit of time yet. Other questions?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
What about loose articles?
No loose articles.
We have lockers.
There'll be storage bins like we have on
Oh,
some
okay.
of our platforms. Yep. But we highly encourage you. No, but-
Everything can leave them.
You can, but just like anything else, we're not responsible because we can't keep track of who owns what.
But we can make a mistake.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
don't have to find someone to say, hey, can you hold this to the locker? Or-
Yes, ma'am.
Good answer. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Other questions?
Is the offload area different from the onload area?
Yes, it is. So we're trying to be very specific how to place the storage bin so you can drop it and pick it as you go.
We're so creatively.
Yeah. We had it and then we
Working
lost
on
it,
that.
and then there's these standards called ASTM.
So we're working on the
Yeah.
loose articles and storage areas. We come up with the design and then we change it.
Yeah,
So
it's not
really,
working.
we're just trying to make it so it's convenient. We understand that people are going to have loose articles. We're the type of park that understands that to the point. We would prefer they go in a locker, but we of course don't want them on the ride, especially with this ride because we will not be retrieving items from this attraction during daily operation. Retrieval will happen, of course, maybe at the end of the night or during inspections in the morning, but not during daily operations because we have no lights.
That
So-
will be a big departure from what we've done. So from a guest perspective, For those of you that have worked in this facility, you understand this is going to be an interesting season for that. Yes, but we will not stop the ride because someone's keys fell out.
It's going to be
Yeah.
a change.
But
It happens, and
yeah,
we can't safely operate and have people in. It's
no,
impossible.
It's
So
not, no, in the dark, that's not good.
yeah. Oh,
Oh, you'd be surprised.
ask our maintenance gentleman about that one day. Okay, they'll be more than happy to tell you about that.
I think the lighting level will be more or less than like the Reese's Challenge.
It will be about the same,
That's the same, okay.
Okay.
we think. I'll let you know when it opens.
Get in there and
Get in there with your light meter, yeah.
see.
Photo?
I would hope it'd be less.
At this point, there's not going to be an on-ride photo, but who knows, that could change in the future. There was a question asked at the last group. This will not be part of the Fast Track Pass. We don't like to put our brand new rides on a Fast Track Pass for year 1. But then in year 2, it'll be part of that.
How about Sweet Start?
Well, this isn't a Sweet Start section, so it won't be part of Sweet Start.
Sweet Start.
No. That's way too much expansion for Sweet Start.
Questions?
Other questions? Real quick story for you, because I'd be remiss if I didn't say this. You all have been to the park before, so I just like to make sure that you understand why we're here and our core purpose. And it's just my moment to take and explain why we're here. For those of you that don't know, we're owned by the Hershey Trust, and the Hershey Trust oversees the Milton Hershey School that's into perpetuity. So the cool thing about where we work is we make fun for everybody, right? And the really cool reason that we're here is because the money that we make goes to the trust that goes to the school to help disadvantaged youth. There's 2,000 students in the school right now, and they're looking to expand even further. I think that's amazing. So we're a small little park, right? And so we measure it in kids. So last year it cost $100,000 to keep one student at the school per year. So we helped 64 students in 2014, and we're looking to help 74 students in 2015. And so I just have to share that because that's our core purpose. That's why we're here. And I think that's what makes Hersheypark special. And I don't know, I like to tell anyone that's willing to listen because it's a heck of a story and it's the truth. And that's why we're at Hersheypark. Yeah. What other questions do you have? This is the quiet group.
I know.
Cold. Do you have questions outside of Laff
We
Trakk?
can't go in the building.
Yes, ma'am.
What's in the building? Is there
Nothing.
anything in the building?
No.
It's a steel, empty structure.
You guys
track
have
at
a
all
track already?
We
or
have
is it
some
still-
track, we have some upright. Cars come end of,
February this month.
yes.
We going over to where the track is?
Excuse me?
Are we going over?
We're not going to have time for that.
Where's the track hiding?
But the track's not impressive.
Can we see it?
It doesn't.
You drove by it. You drove by it.
Yeah. To be honest with you, it's.
You're going to drive by it again. When you exit, okay, okay, let's point north. This is north.
Yeah.
You're going to face this way when you leave. Look to your right, look east.
Oh, okay.
There's some random uprights in the track, and that might be it.
I think what's more, I mean, seeing the test seats, seeing how things operate. I think that once the track gets in, then it really takes form.
Sure.
I see it on the ground, and
Nothing's in there now.
I know. I'm like, build it.
Or in the
Come
crate.
when you're done building it.
I might have been there when the first containers were getting unloaded from the truck still, taking photos.
I've seen
That
nothing.
might have happened.
Building up. I mean,
And I'm
driving
the you always.
I'm taking photos. Meanwhile, Brandon is posting, like, how did you sleep here, Brandon? Did you sleep here? Because you get the photos before, you're like, he's got to be in one of these food trailers that we took out of Midway. You're so way ahead. It's awesome. I love it. What other questions do you guys have? How about we head back? If you have questions about the park, we can answer them along the way. But it's getting really chilly now that the sun is dropping. Right before raining.
You know, in my mind, I'm thinking, you guys know me. In my mind, I'm thinking, is this going to end up being like Monorail or Coal Cracker, where we do breakdown training every year? All these things that we're coming up with because the manufacturer dictates that.